Hello and welcome to this video. Today we are flying here to Edinburgh. We're flying to Edinburgh by ORBX and we are in the Citation Mustang that is made by RWDesign. We are getting close to our top of descent here into Edinburgh. We would plan our landing here in Edinburgh, and we can take our map here and see that we are getting quite close to Edinburgh right now. Get the latest information from there. 207 degrees. Yeah, sounds interesting. Let's see. How that's going to be, I'm using my autopilot project, even though it is not fully working with the aircraft, and that's basically because the developer has made some modifications to the aircraft, so the knob would not work for the altitude entirely as it should. But it is programming and I could fix it, but I already did a fix for Carinator aircraft and keep doing those modifications would not be that great, as it's only a matter of time before developer would change it again, and then autopilot will not work once more. So I have tended not to do it, but that's how it is. And now that we are flying here to Edinburgh, we have the northern region of England installed, as well as Edinburgh. Don't know why. For some reason I have the issue that right before I started this video, actually when we passed Echo Golf November Tango, we get the message that the scenery might not look right at Edinburgh because they are missing some objects. I originally started out with having that problem and uninstalled the airport. That didn't fix the problem. Had to entirely reinstall the region, the north region from ORBX, and that fixed that problem. And then I installed Edinburgh again to find that I had the problem after that step. And I tried to uninstall it quite some times, Edinburgh, but every time it keeps making that issue. So I can't say what the main issue is, but I have a issue with it. So that's a bit sad, but anyway, we can enjoy the airport anyway, so it's not a deal breaker or such. Okay, we are coming up for the approach here, and I use my assigned button that I have here for opening the displays. You can of course open the displays, however here for the main map you can't. Then it goes to this position here and you get this 2D panel here in order to adjust the position and such. So I tend just to do use the default because I like that more than what is in the add-on. Okay, Edinburgh. Let's go to the progress page as we want to set up an approach, and we are going to land here at runway, oh, not this one, sorry, runway 24, and we are just going to do vectors, there we go, and go down and say loading. So now it is actually loaded and we are ready for our main descent here into Edinburgh. And if you are wondering where the complete flight was from, the origin we was flying from, I should say, it is Echo Kilo Yankee Tango, as we was flying from Aalborg Airport. Perhaps that would be the next video, but do note that it might be when it is dark or such, but it's not sure. It depends on how much time I actually have for doing this, so that's it. But that's another nice airport. It is just made by RWDesign, a small one-man company, and he is very talented person. And here you can see the main issue I was mentioning. As you can see, normally my project would switch 1000 feet at a time. It's not that simple. Here you can see it is actually 1100 feet per minute, and if I take and press and use the 200, what's normally 100, it actually jumps 200 feet at a time. So that's a small issue I actually have right there. Okay, and let's see, we got 25 nautical miles in range, and we would start our descent right now. We would do a quick descent, and you can see also now we have some kind of a misreading here in the airspeed. You can see it is 221 and it's 220 here, but basically it is due to the way that the main developer has developed this aircraft. So it is the custom codes that the developer has used that is actually the reason why it behaves as it does in the simulator here. Okay, I haven't been messing with the lights, so they are pretty much on as they should be. You can switch on the anti-skid here, and then we are more or less ready for our arrival here into Edinburgh. And let's take a look at the exterior here of the aircraft so that you can see it, how the airframe looks of this add-on. Just I could take a little time here to show you the Citation Mustang here, and inside here we have the lighting, and it works okay, and you see here animations there. Let's go in here in the cabin. You can see the shadowing here. set up a viewpoint here, as I actually have not done so yet. And as far as I remember, yeah, you can see it's not closed as such, like it is in some add-ons. Okay, and I can see that we would really need a descent here, as we're coming in a bit hot, but it's just fine because we have actually been flying a bit slow here, basically because the Citation Mustang is not the fastest airplane. I have removed the yokes, and it's all working. If you press down here, you would get the menu. You can enable the weather effect as well as the reflections, and you can disable the 3D person, yoke, flashlight. It is a white flashlight, by the way, and you can set the GPU. Then we got the exterior doors that we can open and close when we are on the ground, and we got the weight and balance manager checklist as well that can be used. There are no clicking, as you can see. It could be nice if you could do, as then you could easily see how far you got and such, but it is how it is. Okay, but let's get ready here for the landing into Edinburgh. Got it straight ahead, more or less, as we can see it, and we can open the map again and zoom in and go to the flight plan page here, and there you can see that we came from Aalborg Airport, and then we can go down here and say now we wanna activate the approach if we would like to do so. There are multiple. We could do it in more than just one way. We could go down here and then say direct, and it would activate it, but we could also go back to the procedure page and activate the approach, or activate the vectors to final. If that's what we would like to do, we can say activate vectors, and then it would just draw a line, and now you see, now you would see that the aircraft would turn, and that's not what we wanted to. That's why it is important to set the heading knob before you do those adjustments. I do it for demonstration purpose because I know it is something that is easily forgotten when you are doing it. Okay, now we are continuing our descent here by the 240 knots, more or less. The benefits of doing the final vector is that now I can manually fly along the main flight path in for the approach, instead of just letting the GPS draw a direct line to the final fixed point here, the Charlie India 24, as that normally can cause some odd looking maps here. Not that it would make a huge difference, but again, it looks a bit more professional this way, because then we have a direct line to follow in, so we could actually do our descent here and then turn into towards the center line, or the line in for the main approach here, I should say. So now we are just coming 3,000 feet. As far as I remember, that is the altitude for that weapon here. It is. Do note that I don't have the charts as such. A small note here is that if you are not aware of it, you could actually open your map and then you could go down here to show and select the approach for runway 24, and then you can actually see where we are, as well as you can actually go back and see all the steps that you have made in here. What I mean is you can see that it would makes a marker when you actually lowers the flaps. It gives you the flaps position that you used, as well as now I'm gonna demonstrate. You see gear down, it would actually show you when you lower the gear, and that would be maintained that way, so you actually can see what steps was done at which time. And now you would know that by this fixed point here we should be at 3,000 feet. So we are going a bit below, because you can see the glide path also indicates that it would not be that great to continue the way we are doing it right now. I can set up the speed here, and the aircraft would actually, that's a bit odd. It might be a bit glitch because there are 2,000 feet down to the 2,000. So let's see if we can rectify it, and that's why I say my project may not work, but it can also be the way that the autopiloting aircraft is behaving, because I know those aircraft sometimes behaves a bit odd. It's not the first time that it actually acting a bit weird, so it's nothing that really alarms me at the moment. And I'm gonna switch off the autopilot, and then I would actually go manual here, because now we have visual of the runway, and we would continue in for our main approach here. And you can see we are pretty much nice on the glide path here, even though we have not captured the main the center of the runway, I should say, to make it more simple. I could also go in and say phone the localizer, and because we are on the glide slope, we are actually a bit below the glide slope at the moment. But here we come. Actually passing it a bit right now, but it's okay. Now I just close the map, because you actually have the puppy lights down there, so we can visually make the approach. Even though we oversteered a bit here in the beginning, so we got too far to the right, so we are correcting right now towards the left. That was my mistake. But again, with all those different aircraft types flying, it gets a bit of a challenge to fly them all perfect, because they act quite differently. as lately I have been flying the Apple and Airbus, so they all act quite different, as you would know. But we are nicely on the approach here, and the flaps are set for landing, and all is good. We are a bit low, as we can see on the puppy lights right now, but else than that we are more or less stabilized on the approach. The airspeed is fine, and we are just continuing in for our landing here. One thing here is that we are going a bit low, and that's basically a funny fact that was learned by an actually a flying school, where they actually told you to actually to make a much better flare if you actually got below the glide slope. Because the main thing is that you keep the aircraft within the runway, and that's what we did. And now I have done a mistake. If you saw it, I actually raised the flaps. You're not allowed to do that in the real aircraft. I actually did it to speed up the process, as it causes some drag. And I'm also sure that the speed brakes was missing. As in this aircraft, you don't have thrust reversers, you only have your brakes and the speed brakes. So that was pilot error. Okay. But that's pretty much it for the main landing. It was pretty straightforward, and I really like the D1000 here because you actually have a visual reference of the ground and such, and it makes it a lot easier to actually taxi. Sorry, to fly after, I should say, taxi. That's what we do. Sorry. I'm still trying to get better at talking and flying. But it is a quite challenging thing, but also because I'm focusing too much on those errors I actually do. So that's it. But here you got Edinburgh. Seems to be their facility for the firefighting training. Let's switch off our landing lights. Tech light can remain on. Oops. And I apologize for the little lag here, as I can feel that the PC is not that happy about the recording, but it does it okay, I would say, because this airport can even be a bit of a challenge for the PC here, as I don't have the best setup here, but in normal conditions it's not a problem. In fact, in Aalborg it's not a huge impact, but of course here we got the terrain, and or I should say the scenery, and this aircraft. And I know this particular aircraft by itself is normally a bit heavy on the frames. Not sure why, because in some aspects it's a bit simplistic, you can say. Okay. But I hope you liked the landing here into Edinburgh anyway. So there's not much more to say from me other than thank you for watching, and we would now just park over here, and then we would stop the recording as we have arrived at our destination more or less safely. And yes, the strobe light should has been switched off as well. But perhaps I should stop focusing on the mistakes I do and just accept them, then it could be that it would be improved. Okay, so and it is a bit, is it the anti-collision? No. It is. Here we go. Because was it in the Avro I've been flying before, it is the opposite, so a bit confusing there, even though normally beacon is the red light, and yeah, beacon anti-collision. Anyway, we're not gonna talk anymore about it. Parking brake has been set, and for this aircraft to shut down, you may know it, but it is a bit different, that you just pull those small levers here and it actually shuts off the engines. So let's go down here and turn on the ground power unit, so we actually have some electricity for the main aircraft. And we can go down and open the front door. You can hear that it actually opens, and we can open all the doors here. You can actually see that the emergency exit I was mentioning can be removed, and there's some kind of floating here, so you can see. Here we go. Inserting the emergency window again. Yes, there's a small eye candy here, and without further ado, I would stop the recording. So thank you for watching, and bye bye.